going any faster than it did, at the least. So I think Wildcard should be in for a bit of a redemption arc. But again, if you think about those odds, Mike, from esportsbet.io, 1.038 or something up against 9. I still think those odds are kind of... I mean, I said game 1 would be the moment of truth, and, well, we found out the truth might in 15:53.
We did.
So, yeah.
Thank you for that, Jonathan. I always appreciate a positive John X Fire. Usually you're the negative one, but...
Yeah, but I don't see a game going quicker than that. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, it would be insane. It might be record-setting if it goes any earlier.
Isn't it funny? We've had the longest game on TI main stage, and we've had a 15-minute game in DPC.
Probably the shortest game of the DPC 201, I'd say. I'd be willing to bet on it.
It's close. I'm not sure. I feel like there must have been a 14-minute GG.
What,
was there
in week
12?
1?
No, definitely
No,
not.
I mean this year, John.
Yeah, true. In this year, yes.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, moving on. First blood may be drawn, but not really. Neither side really wants to fight right now. Crit is taking a fair bit of damage here from Ark. Hook was already committed, though, so he should be just fine to walk himself out of there. Meanwhile, mid lane, Arteezy is currently having a bit of fun with Sunlight. This is not something we get to see very often. Arteezy, put the hand up, wave them bye-bye. Not very often you get to see Arteezy... Oh, Flea. Oh. He could have tried for that. I'm a Clockwork spammer. He may have got that off if he was lucky.
Yeah, it would have been pretty annoying for our tour to kind of walk back in lane. A lot of room for Sunlight to get a lot of value in his level 1. But yeah, you miss out on an opportunity. This lane should feel a little bit better for Wildcard. It is a lot more aggressive. You can try to bully out Artur at some point, but it's a bit risky as well. Maybe by level 2, level 3, Flea feels a little bit comfier to get that done. We'll see if it pans out this time. Because if you do shut down RTZ, it does feel a lot better.
Oh, there goes a bit of a cheeky courier snipe there from Fly. Even pulling the wave away for a moment. Mid lane, of course, Arbed and Babbage going at it once again. So the Lina versus Tiny matchup, you'd have to argue the Lina does have an inherent advantage, but it seems like Arbed's doing just fine in terms of CS. I suppose with the tree grab, you are going to have some, massive base damage and huge range to attack with. Tiny, though, very low armor kind of hero. Of course, we do have another video with Fly, and I believe this time around, I can't remember exactly what we asked him, but give me one moment. We asked him what is the best start to a game, so let's have a hear and see what Fly said.
Part of the game for us. I mean, I'll take a first blood any day, for my mid laner especially. I think that's usually like the best case scenario you can get.
Well, there you go. There's Fly speaking. I was about to say hold that thought because Sammy was dying it down at the bot lane, but he does barely survive.
Oh, Saberlight. Like, microwing for the blocks and he's not even close to finding a kill just to annoy Sammy?
Mid?
That's a mental warfare.
Oh, no. That's a solo kill from Arbed. Level 1 Avalanche, level 1 Toss is all he required for that. That's not something you see too often.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen Linas lose up against Tiny. I believe we were watching a Southeast Asia game sometime last year, but it's been a while.
Long time.
And that was really a skill mismatch more than a hero matchup difference, so does not bode too well for Babbage. Not the end of the world, but we've seen Abed go off on a running start. And he does, again, he builds that momentum quick for his team. So maybe Wildcard should try to take a book out from what the panel was saying, get aggressive onto the mid, give Babbage a lane, but so far they're just kind of tied into these side lanes still.
Right, because you've got a hero like Lina who can attack from a mile away, and you've got a hero like Tiny with 0 armor. So theoretically, the matchup should be quite favored towards said Lina, but I kind of agree with you. Like, maybe a bit of a rotation would help. In fact, if you could rotate this clock over and get a cogs off, it's basically a guaranteed kill onto Arbed. For now, though, it does seem like Flea is occupied top lane here with Sunlight, and, well, to be fair, Sunlight probably can't be left alone either. It's the Mirana Ursa. Sure, you've got a cookie away, but Arteezy could easily just chase him down with the Earthshock, of course, and could be a little bit rough for him. Arteezy's having a very good time up at top lane, by the way. Hands completely up all the time. Always ask for a high five here, Arteezy.
Yeah, he's not being pressured too hard. There's still a pretty decent kill threat with Cookie Cogs Battery Assault, but...
Mid. Okay, here we go again. Babbage will get tossed back right into the loving arms of Crit. Babbage, well, there's really no escape. There is no way to escape that. He will drop crit to take the kill on the Rubik. Meanwhile, top lane, there is an attempt at Arteezy's life. He's just going to be perfectly fine, though. No worries, he'll just walk away.
The big difference between these two teams is really just that movement out from the supports. Crit's the one who shows up mid instead, building off that strong start of Abed. Wildcard are just still pinned to their side lanes. Maybe the mentality is we really need to win these side lanes and just try to get a better start in game one, but it's coming at a massive cost. Just giving Abed this strong of a start again is pretty scary, and Bapetic, he's going to have to farm as the Lina. You lose that momentum from the early power spikes this hero has with just a couple of items by being stalled out like this.
Top lane, Sunlight again going to be in danger. Instead, they'll turn their attention on towards Flea, though Fly is dropping fairly low, but won't mind. He'll keep going after the clock, but the Fairy Fire will save the day. Fly out of leap charges, but is going to be able to walk away for now. Still, this top lane, a little bit disastrous here for the side of Wildcard. Just no farm really being had. Sunlight on 9-2 in terms of CS. Arteezy basically free farming once again on the Ursa. There's not really much you can do about it.
Nah. I mean, they've been trying to get that combo with Cookie off. It's just really hard to commit onto the Ursa right now, and with Fly just positioning well, threatening with the Starstorm. He doesn't even have the arrow. He's just looking to damage them down anytime they commit.
Yeah.
It just makes it so hard to look for that trade opportunity.
It makes enough sense, right? Because again, there's not much mobility up this top lane, so the Starfall does kind of have a lot of value in this laning stage, and well, as you can see, the farm's going perfectly fine. What about that bot lane, John? We haven't really talked about it too much. Saberlight seems to be farming extremely well himself here on the Lycan. 26-4 in terms of CS. So he's going to have a very strong timing on that Helm of the Dominator. In fact, almost has it up, just needs the recipe now. Arc not doing too bad himself on the Pudge, currently third in CS at 25-10. Still, once that Helm of the Dominator comes out for Saberlight, things get very tough. This mid lane looks like they are going to try onto Babbage once again, though Arbed will not be able to close the gap. So no toss back for him. They do force a rotation out from Sammy Boy, but he's going to be just fine. Meanwhile, top lane and bottom lane, action all across the map. Arc's trying to man-fight Saberlight here. Saberlight is more than happy to oblige, but eventually the rot damage is starting to do some real damage, so Saberlight eventually is going to be forced to back away. It's a bit of a reset for himself. Sammy was rotating, to be fair, so you definitely didn't want to take that fight, though Fly, rather Crit, is going to get hooked up. Nice lift away from Crit. Saberlight now to move in. In fact, Arc's the one in danger. How the tables have turned. Arc, so close yet so far. He will drop. Sammy, for some reason, is stuck around, and that probably means there's another killing coming. That they don't have an Avalanche available. Seems like they don't have any spells available, so Sammy is going to be fine to back off, and in fact, Babbage now going to try and move in, and does at least find Crit.
Yeah, they find her first kill. I like that Arc is getting a little bit more aggressive with the Vanguard. That's why he was willing to trade with Saberlight earlier on in that lane. And they play with her combination, but the output just isn't enough. Like they can't even melt the Rubik. Really fast hands out from Crit with a lift back. And Shopify Rebellion, I mean, they're still feeling good about this game. They just have complete control. With Crit dead, he gets a top up Abed, who didn't manage to get the haste rune last time. So you pretty much just get a full reset, and you can just look to play again. Wildcard, their best bet is Arc's early timing. Like, just having this super durable Pudge is nice. It's a good foil against the Lycan in the sense that you could probably just hook the large creep and just take it out completely, but it is a massive waste to do that because it does feel like you need it for the pickoffs. Shopify, they're grouping up around mid, trying to get a little bit aggressive here. Even Fly showing up this time.
That they are. Babbage, he's going to be the target. Avalanche, arrow, everything just so easy to land. And, well, Babbage, he does Fairy Fire up, but the right-click damage of Arbed just so high. Another kill is now bot lane. They'll try to at least punish Saberlight for being alone here down to this bottom lane. He is falling very low. Wolf form has been popped with the stick charges. He's barely going to survive. In fact, it wasn't even a stick. He just had enough HP. Arc is going to try to run. He'll be fine, but Sammy will not.
Yeah, Saberlight's micro. Just getting that creep up, clapping onto the CM, finding that kill. Up top, they're also still getting aggressive. Arteezy dropped low, but just not low enough.
Arrow will land. Won't last very long, and I don't think Arbed has the mana to keep going. It does have the mana, but won't bother even trying, just out of range. In fact, why not just go after Flea instead? That poor Clockwork. He'll walk away. He'll be all right. But 1 to 5, very reminiscent of game 1.
It is. At the least, it's 9 minutes in. So, you know, it's already shaping up to be maybe longer already. It's not as overwhelming of a start for Shopify Rebellion. I think Wildcard has some tools to kind of drag this one out and play longer and try to find that opening for themselves. Sammy, though, he's all right.
He'll be just fine for now. One of the positives, I suppose, is you can just frostbite the dominant creep and take it out every single time. So plus 100 there for old Sammy Boy, but the Wolves are now chasing him down. It's a CM after all, you know, these Wolves do hurt.
Yeah.
He'll be all right.
Shove it all the way back. At the least right now for Wildcard, they've got some room up top. They've been consistently pressuring RTZ at the least, so it's not the comfiest in the lane. Once you have the Kisses threat, just getting cogs off, massive kill opportunity for Wildcard, so it should be their priority to get that done.
I bet that'll be a big kill in the mid lane. Very nice setup here from Babidich and Ark. Second kill of the game for themselves here, and a massive one at that. That mid tiny, very important to take down.
Yeah, already better than game 1, 2 to 5. Wildcard, again, having opportunities to get things done on the map. Sammy's still not safe against these Wolves.
No, he's not. He's been consistently chased here by the Wolves of Saberlight. He's still trying to run. Another Wolf there, but it won't be enough. Tips out to Saberlight. I mean, what do you do, right? Like, you're playing Crystal Maiden against the Lycan. This is just going to happen over and over again. Here we go. The Wolves are back.
Yeah, nah.
Bye, Sammy.
That's just sickening.
Oh, and here we go.
Blocks!
Yeah, blocks are out. Saberlight just showing off at this point. Bye-bye, Ark. I mean, you've got to laugh. I mean, if I was Sammy, I'd probably be laughing at that. Like, what are you going to do?
There's nothing you can really do there. I mean, it is a Crystal Maiden. It's just going to die. Maybe you could try to rush the Force Staff or, heck, Ghost Scepter, perhaps, if you're really worried about that. I don't see that being something you can really rush on the CM. Shopify Rebellion, in a good spot, 2 to 7, but Wildcard, and they've got play here. They've got the Kisses on Sunlight if they can find a target.
They're going. Arteezy, he's got Enrage. Cookie, well, the creep just kind of turned directions completely. Very rude of that creep, ruining the Cookie altogether, and Arteezy's fine to TP out. No issues. Hook shot off the mark as well.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the right idea on Wildcard. Just a good read out from Shopify Rebellion as well to back off. Still, maybe Sammy can find something. They're still clumped up here.
Yeah, but Arteezy's around the corner. You've got help there for crit if you need it. They are still chasing, but they have no way to close the gap. Sunlight, he'll try with the Cookie, but a nice little juke out from Arteezy. Sammy's going to try to move in, but again, you still have the Enrage up. Maybe just trying to bait it out here from Arteezy, but Sammy's just going to die.
They tried to line up with that Frostbite into Kisses, but Sunlight was a bit too close to Artur to fully commit, and I think you really want the Battery Assault, or at least the Cogs on top, to ensure that you get more of those Kisses off. So, doesn't quite line up that rotation. At least they find a Tier 1 tower for their trouble, equalizing map control to an extent, and they are buying some space out for Ark to build up. He is going into the Yags now. Clump up mid.
Yeah, Flea's going to try and move in. Arbet's looking for Babidich in the backside. A nice arrow from Fly. He threads the needle, finding the Lina. Sunlight's going to try to fight back against Arbet, but just can't get the damage out. Now the Wolf Form to be popped. Saberlight sees Sammy, and Saberlight probably just wants to take Sammy out. Bit of a right click. He'll back off afterwards, but the Wolves are there. Arbet takes care of it. This is such an annoying draft to have to play against. There's so many things to worry about.
Yeah, it's not an easy one for Wildcard. They're playing it really well in Shopify Rebellion. They've got everything. It looked pretty good earlier on.
A nice Cookie there from Sunlight, at least. Does end up picking off at least one in the form of crit. That'll be about it, though, for Wildcard.
I mean, it looked like a good start to that mid-fight. They had the Cogs, they had the Kisses.
Oh, Babidich.
Oh?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
Surrounded. Nice little stunt from Saberlight. Holds down Flea on the Clockwork, and the chase is still going. Mind you, Saberlight, he doesn't have any brown boots, so he can't move very fast right now. So I suppose Flea does kind of save the day for Babidich on the positive note, but still looking very tough as they do go after that Tier 1 top tower. And already, Shopify Rebellion was so comfortable they were in that Radiant Triangle that they do eventually back out, to be fair.
Yeah, they just know how strong they are. They're just pushing that advantage, staying aggressive, taking away a big chunk of the map from Wildcard Gaming. If you're Wildcard right now, you could try to just keep grouping around. Whenever you've got the hookshot plus Laguna or hookshot plus the kisses, I think that's your best bet in finding these pickoffs here.
Oh, Sammy, right underneath the observer ward, does get taken out immediately. It's not an easy life.
No.
Crystal Maiden, you know, you pick this hero, you might dominate the lane, but after that, you are just free food for the enemy team.
Pretty much. It's a really rough CM game overall, and they're still invading. Oh no.
Yeah, hookshot does not connect on Arbet. Still mid lane, they do at least try and go into crit, but the arrow is going to land from Fly. Kisses to fly in, but they are out of range. Nobody going to drop here from Shopify Rebellion, and knowing the kisses are down now, they might just force another fight. Moonlight Shadow's there. Arbet, you'll just go for a creep wave instead. Doesn't really seem to care.
No pressure to kind of make a big play there. And for Wildcard, I mean, that's kisses down once more, which means you're not going to be too keen on jumping in. Your team fight's just diminished without that spell. And Shopify Rebellion, smoke on top of that. They know without the kisses, it's going to be a lot harder to try to melt any of them down. They've got an opening.
Here we go. Frostbite already out onto a Wolf. That's going to be completely wasted as Arbit does go in for an Avalanche and a very nice toss out. Flea, he's going to try and cogs up and run, but the lift back is there from Crit. They'll just continue chasing him down here on the Clockwork. And Saberlight in the meantime, he's of course going to target Sammy Boy on that Crystal Maiden. 3 for the price of nothing for Shopify Rebellion. And Roshan is completely open.
Yeah, it's not going to take too long to clean that up with Artur around. And with how durable they are, with the Ancient Granite Golem already up, with that full Helm of the Overlord on Saberlight. It has gone longer. You see, Mike, it's past that 15:53.
Very good.
So we're at 16 minutes in. The question is, do we reach 20 minutes? You know, that's the thing I have in mind. Again, Wildcard, they have decent enough wave clear. They can hold high ground. We're inching towards the Ags of Arc. We're close to that BKB for Babatich. So there are some good core items coming out. It will just boil down to execution. They've got to play to their strengths. They've got to buy space out here. Good hook.
Arbet, he had the illusion room bottled up though. Doesn't allow the dismember to come through. Wildcard still grouped up in the mid lane, trying to get some vision around their own areas. It's very defensive ward placement here from Wildcard. Make sure they do not get picked off one by one. They are going to smoke. A 3-man smoke, in fact, from Wildcard. Up towards the north they go. Mind you, their bottom lane is being forced in right now, so it's going to be maybe a bit of an obvious smoke here from Wildcard, but let's see what they can try to find. Lines have been drawn up towards top lane where Fly is hanging out on that Mirana. Instead, they do go bottom side. Flea get caught out on the Clockwork, but for now is fine. Tree toss is there. He will still survive. Top lane, Fly still hanging around, but jukes out the hook. Bit off the mark anyway. Arteezy will move into that bottom lane. They'll find Flea on the Clockwork eventually and take him out. Sunlight just trying to hide the best he possibly can. Does go for a cookie towards that left side. Maybe try for Arteezy. He does still have that Aegis up, however. Sammy, he goes for the freezing field, but it means nothing. They are still surviving.
Oh, man.
Toss Arteezy away. Why not?
Oh, well.
Yeah, the hook's not even going to land either.
Look at Saberlight in the back.
He's going right after that Snapfire. Sammy gets caught out by Arteezy. Onto Babatich they go. They find the Lina. Nobody going to drop here from the side of Shopify Rebellion. Arc still trying, but only really dismembering creeps at the moment.
It's just a bit disjointed coming out from Wildcard Gaming. They group up. They're trying to split their forces up and get these ganks. Any kill matters, so even just killing off someone like Fly is pretty damn good at this point, but they just can't find them. And again, maybe it's just a matter of patience now. Just try to get that BKB, try to get that AG 600 gold away for Arc. You could be really strong at that point. I'm not sure if you can really survive long enough, especially in the Pudge, with the output of Shopify Rebellion right now, but you could give it a shot. High ground defense, again, is not too bad. Wave clear is there. So they can keep playing. I don't think there's any reason to clear out, especially since, well, if you clear out, the series is done. So you have to play this one to its end. Shopify Rebellion, for their part, I mean, it's such a clean game for them. Hook on RTZ.
There is a hook on RT. He's got 2 lives available, and he's a very tanky bear at the moment. Does pop the enrage to be able to get away from that one. That'll be about it. The retreat, they get reset. Shopify Rebellion still respecting Wildcard, not willing to give anything away. While this is happening, bottom lane Saberlight does take down the tier 2 tower. And Wildcard, they give it a decent shot, but not interested in trying to pursue any further. Shopify Rebellion, on the other hand, they're going to move right in. Sammy immediately caught out.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's gone.
It's so rough to watch that in Sammy. It's just not a fun game when you're 0-8-1, Mike.
Oh, and Ark's been caught. Abed right on the edge with the avalanche. Cancels off the TP. Ark, I mean, he's going to try to juke out of the tree line, but Arteezy's there. Never fight a bear in the woods. Does get taken out. 2 down for the side of Wildcard.
At the least, Ark has his Ags up. You know, and it's a good bit of news. They can play. Ark is still going.
Yeah, he is. He'll spot out Sunlight. He is completely on his own here, Arteezy. Let's see what he can get done. His team is trying to move in time to help him out. And in goes the wolf form from Saberlight, so he's going to rush forward because he did see Sammy Boy on that Crystal Maiden. Meanwhile, Flea and Sunlight just get completely torn apart by Abed. Sammy is still being chased by Saberlight. One tip and this is what happens. Davidich also getting dived past the tier 4 towers. Onto the tier 3s they go.
Oh, man. All the small plays Shopify Rebellion is pulling out. Like, the micro of Saberlight to block the hook shot to ensure RTZ wasn't under any major threat of losing the Aegis. I mean, it just piles up. We're at 3-26 now, 16k lead. Wildcard, they've got the BKB up and running on Babatich. It just doesn't feel like that's going to be enough. We need to see a good team fight. We need to see that execution, the kisses, everything to come true together.
Flea going to survive. Freezing Field committed by Sammy. Trying to clear out the creep wave and stop this push from happening. Oh, Freezing Field being given back the wave crit.
Yeah, it's a bit of a toughie. Even more team fight now. Probably, you know what? Out of all the spells Ruby could steal, you probably don't need a Freezing Field this game. You'd want more control, maybe a little bit more burst, but...
I mean, it's level 1 anyway, you know, it's not...
It's nice, I guess. You get to dance in the middle. Everyone likes to sing, Mike, you know? I suppose.
Abed. Nice little ward there to get vision. He won't jump into 3, not yet. Smoke broken immediately. Abed being a real nuisance here in this tree line. As Sunlight's going to have a look around, try to find him. Eventually does spot out the Tiny. And tips her out. Sammy, he respects that.
Yeah, just sneaky. Just cutting off any angle for Wildcard, ensuring that, again, this pickoff they have, it's just not getting anywhere. Like, we haven't seen the big Laguna Burst, we haven't seen the Cogs Kisses combination at all this game. Even the impact of this Ags out from Arc, it's not really being felt.
Hook attempt won't be thrown out. Wildcard smoked up once again. Run right into the side of Shopify. Arc, hook, no. That is not how you want to start a fight. In comes Saberlight. Arteezy's already found Sammy Boy. And the chase is on. Flea's in trouble. Ark's so darn low in terms of HP. Arrow will land. Take down the Pudge. It seems like that call is coming very, very soon here for Wildcard Gaming, as they do also lose Sunlight. Arteezy's godlike. That's a roughie.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It reminds me of yesterday's game in Game 2 for Wildcard versus Bait, where something snaps and nothing lines up. And I think that's what we're seeing again. But unlike yesterday's series, they're already down one game. There's no recovery mode in the Game 3 if it all goes south here. And 3-29 scoreline, 19k lead for Shopify Rebellion. It's getting harder and harder to see literally any small % chance of bouncing back here. And Dota Plus has it at 100% for Shopify now.
Well, you see the smiling face of Sammy. I guess that's all you can do right now. You can just smile. as I believe we saw in a certain film a couple years ago, John. Into the Mirana fly. He's going to drop, so they do find something. Abed does get hit by a few kisses. Is still okay to walk away. They have got themselves a Mirana. Still hooking for more. Seeing if they can fish for something. Shopify Rebellion not going to get too aggressive. Be a little bit patient here and eventually back off. But there's going to be another smoke out from Wildcard. Arteezy, just around the corner, is going to see Sammy. Will blink away.
Yeah, I think this is the right call from Wildcard. Just keep trying to force something out. Keep trying to play with this burst that you have, with this mild team fight you do have if you isolate one. And just try to catch Shopify off guard.
Oh, play. Such a tough game. I mean, it's like, it's 5 hits from Arteezy and you're just dead. There's no two ways about it.
No. You need that Ghost Scepter up, or maybe even at least a Force Staff. And neither of those are really coming through anytime soon for either of our supports. High ground begins, and the push, it really doesn't take too long with Saberlight around. It's going to be 1 set, probably 2 sets of racks. They could just swing down, bot. They could force a tier 4 if they want to. I mean, you're at the point where you're strong enough to do that.
And there you go, Abed. Not going to land the Avalanche this time around. Bot racks is going to drop as well. 2 racks is up now for Shopify Rebellion. Hook is there from Flea, but an immediate lift out from Crit. And that clockwork is not looking too healthy. Saberlight, he'll move right into Babidich. That's Yelena gone. Abed tossing Sammy around. They are just getting melted. 3 down.
Crit.
There's your song, John. Crit, he's having a great old time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he doesn't get to sing. Oh,
Yep.
Abed?
Why not? Go for a bit more in the fountain, but Abed. Whoopsie daisies. Hand out the tips, boys.
Tips. He buys back, though. He's buying back.
That's confidence right there, John. That's confidence. Arteezy, speaking of confidence, onto Arc by the fountain. Still just going. Hook is taken. Crit just brings him back.
Mad.
Sammy. Oh, Sammy.
Oh, goodness gracious
You know, I respect Sammy. He's that guy that gets beaten up in a street fight.